Hey y'all, it's me, Edie Hill 1988.
Hey, it's me, John.
And here's Karsyn's labor and delivery story. And I was pretty delirious the entire time, so I'm gonna have my little helper John fill in on all the details because I know I'll be leaving things out just because I honestly don't remember. So I'm exactly 1 week postpartum today, so Karsyn's born a week ago obviously, so here's a labor and delivery story. So okay, I was 40 weeks and 6 days pregnant when I went and got John. I was 40 weeks and 6 days pregnant when I got the membrane sweep at about 2:45 that day. And as soon as I got it done, I had a ton of bloody show and mucus and all that, so I knew I was going to go into labor. But I'd been contracting off and on for 2 weeks before that, so I honestly didn't expect to make it to 40 weeks and 6 days. My appointment wasn't until that following Thursday, and I had her Tuesday, so I changed my appointment to 2 days before because I was like, I'm absolutely miserable. You know, having pretty consistent. No, they weren't consistent. They were, 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes and every 5 minutes. Then it'd be 2 hours. They were irregular, but I was having a lot during the day, so I was just exhausted. So I went and got the membrane sweep, like I said, around 2:45, and and like I said, I got tons of blood show mucus, and I started contracting immediately. So I knew I was going to go into labor. So I was having little contractions here and there, nothing really major. And about 10:45 that night, was that Monday night? 10:45 that night, I got a really strong contraction. I was like, oh crap, like this is the real thing. So my contractions started about 10:45, and then they started coming every 6 minutes. So they weren't too intense. I could breathe through them and talk through them. So I called my midwife, and she said for me not to go to the birthing center until they were every 4 minutes apart, lasting a minute for at least an hour. So at about 12-ish, I think 12 something, y'all, I can't even remember.
Yeah, around 12.
Around midnight, they started getting really intense, and they became they started coming every 3 minutes and lasting a minute, and I didn't even wait for an hour. Like when they started coming every 3 minutes, I was like, okay, it's time to go, because I was already feeling pressure down there, so I knew that I was ready to go. So went to the birthing center at about, we got there around
1:30.
Got there about 1:30 or so. And as soon as I got there, I collapsed on the ground. Like, I collapsed outside the door. I was in so much pain, and I was like, I've got to get in the pool. I've got to get in the pool. I was ripping my clothes off at the door. So
it was a very slow collapse.
And I didn't fall down. Like, I kind of like
went down on one knee and then on the other knee and then lay down.
It probably looked so dramatic, but I was so glad I ever did get it on tape. But I kind of collapsed, and I was just like, oh my god, I need to get in the water. So the midwife said she had to check me before I got in the water, and I was like, oh, I bet I'm a 4 or 5, right? Because when I got the membrane sweep, I was a 3, almost a 4, not really. So when I got there though, she was like, no honey, you were 9 centimeters dilated. So I rode from where we live to the birthing center, which should be a 45-minute ride, but we made it in about 30 minutes because John's kind of speeding. So
I had to have this on.
Yeah, but I was absolutely just miserable. So I figured I was, at least 6 or 7. I don't know. But I was, I didn't want to get my hopes up. But when she told me I was 9 centimeters, I could not believe it. So I got in the birthing pool and labored in the pool for about an hour to an hour and a half, I think. I can't even remember. I was so delirious. So, and then like the water just didn't feel comfortable to me anymore. And y'all know I wanted my water birth so bad. But the water just didn't feel comfortable anymore. So
it was a good thing too.
Yeah. Okay. So I like I said, the water just didn't feel comfortable, and I just wanted to lay down in the bed. I was like, I've got to lay down, So I lay down, I lay down on my side, and I did not get back up
until it was time.
Yeah, until it was time to push. This might be a super quick story. I think I'm dragging it out, y'all, but it was honestly like her labor was a total of 6 hours, from the time I got my first contraction until the time she was born. So it went really, really quick. But I laid on my side, and I was just so delirious. I can't even remember like half the stuff that was going on. And as y'all know, I was group B strep positive, but they didn't give me the antibiotics as soon as I got in there because the midwife thought that I would go really, really quick. But from the time that I got to the birthing center until the time she was born was about 3 hours, which nobody expected. Like my body was wanting to push, but I was kind of holding it back because I was nervous. So I honestly think that she would have been born like within at least 45 minutes of me being there. I was just holding back. Like I didn't want to do it. So, but anyway, I was on my side, and my body just started pushing on its own. And I was just like, oh my god, she's coming. Like I couldn't control it. And oh yeah, but the woman came in. That's when the woman came in with the antibiotics. And as soon as she started like trying to put the IV in, my water broke and I pooed everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like my water broke and it sprayed across the bed. It sprayed across the bed. Like my mom was on the other side of the room and it hit her foot. Like that's how far like my water just, like I just grunted really loud and strained and my water burst everywhere. And like
water balloon just popped.
Yeah, it was like, it went everywhere. It was disgusting. So, and I couldn't move because I was so weak. So I was just laying there in poo and pee and I just felt like crap, y'all. And I was just like, nobody's gonna, I remember this part. I was like, nobody's gonna clean me up. What's wrong with y'all? Like, clean me up. So
her mom said it looked like a ribbon just.
Oh my God, John. Okay, yes, there's a lot of poo, John. There's a lot of poo. So,
just
but
keeps commenting.
John, okay, John, okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so, hold on, let me go get her. She's awake. Hold on. Okay, false alarm, y'all. She was just making sounds in her sleep. But, so like I said, it was just nasty, y'all. And once my water broke, she was born 15 minutes later. Like, my water broke and then my body just started pushing her out on its own. Like, I know in the clip of her birth, I was like laying on my side. You can kind of see her head like pushing through. And I was like, is she here yet? I think that's what I said. Or burns. I can't remember what I said.
Yeah,
but
you were saying it burned.
But it was just burning really, really bad. And the midwife was like, okay, well, you know, it's not. I was like, is she here? Is she almost here? She was like, no. And I was like, her feels like her head is like coming out. So, I mean, we need to get this show on the road. So I got on my hands and knees because that was what was more comfortable. And 3 pushes later, or not even 3, I honestly didn't push, y'all. Like, she pretty much, it felt like she burrowed her way out. Like, I don't remember pushing her out. I just remember her just pushing herself through is what it felt like.
Well,
but I didn't.
I did pull her after the Head and Shoulders got out. So.
Okay, well, John did deliver like half of her body, but I just remember like my body pushing on its own. I didn't feel like I was pushing at all. But like I said, I guess 3 pushes later, 3 contractions later, she was born. So it took maybe 10-15 minutes, if that. So yeah, so that's pretty much the labor and delivery story, y'all. It's not really, I mean, it was really, really quick.
Sorry.
It was really, really quick. Like, pretty much everything in the video is what happened. I mean, but like I said, when I got to the birthing center, I was 9 centimeters dilated, and I didn't expect that at all. So that was pretty cool that I didn't have to stay there super long. And we stayed at the birthing center for 11 hours because we had no. Well, from the time she was born until the time we left was 11 hours, but we stayed there maybe 14 hours, I guess. Because I think she was born at 4:40.
Oh, with the labor, yeah.
Yeah, so we stayed there a total, like from the time I got there until the time we left, a total of 14 hours. And that's because I had to test her cord blood for the group B strep since I didn't get the antibiotic in time. And of course it was negative, she didn't have it. And there was one other thing that I was going to talk about. I can't remember if... Group B strep. Oh yeah, my placenta. Y'all know I wanted to wait till the cord stopped pulsating, but my placenta, like my body pushed it out on its own, so we didn't get to wait for that because, yeah, like I strained and my placenta was like coming out. So she was like, yeah, we need to go ahead and deliver that right now. So unfortunately, we didn't wait to we didn't get to wait for her cord to stop pulsating, but whatever. So I delivered her, and like 5 minutes later, the placenta was out. So so y'all, that's pretty much it. If I'm leaving anything out, then I'll just put it in the bottom bar, but I honestly don't.
That sounds about right, except for the kind of
like,
the comedy side of it,
yeah,
which I probably saw in the other video. Right?
Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh
God, but it's 11 o'clock at night. John, stop. It's 11 o'clock at night, y'all. We're about to. Yeah, we should be in bed, but I had to get this video made. So.
Had to. We've been trying to do it for the past 3 nights. So.
Yeah, that's everything. Like things kept coming up. And I was like, I'm going to do my labor and delivery video tonight. So
now all of our family's away. It's just me, us, and
yeah. Today was our first full day as a family. This isn't labor and delivery related, but this is our first day as a family of 4. So.
I'm not very organized like that.
Not at all. But okay, this is so random, y'all. I'm so sorry. So if you have any questions, just yeah, John, oh my God. So if you have any, he needs to go to bed, y'all. So if you have any questions, just leave them below. If I'm leaving out anything, yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing. People keep asking me about the birth center versus the hospital. Would I do a birth center again or birthing center? I would definitely do a birthing center again. It was just really laid back. I honestly felt like we were at home.
We didn't have people. Me around.
Yeah, because John wasn't too keen on it. I kind of had to talk him into it, but I honestly think that if we have another child, I wouldn't do it any other way. How about you? You do birthing center?
Yeah, birthing center was really nice. It was more of a laid back style, but they still had the care there that you kind of need. Well, I felt like you kind of need at the hospital. Yeah.
So, like John said, they were really hands-on, but it wasn't like, it wasn't super medical. It was just like, it felt like I was at home, but people knew what they were doing, and it was just awesome.
The only difference was that when we was at the hospital, they cleaned you up instantly as you pooed.
Yeah, John kind of didn't like that when
they kind of let it
John
sit
and this
around for a little
poo.
bit.
John didn't like that when I pooed. I just like not sat there in it for a while, but it was like,
I mean, it was only like maybe 30 seconds, but at the hospital, as soon as it popped out,
like immediately they wipe it up.
Wiped it up.
But anyway, y'all, I'm sorry if that's just nasty, if that's TMI, but
that was a lot of poo.
But like I said, John, please, but the birthing center was just laid back, and we just loved it. So
thumbs up.
So we love the birthing center. So okay, y'all. So yeah.
Alrighty, y'all.
Okay. All right, bye, y'all.